going on, everybody? Today is March 31st, the last day in March, and it is also the season finale of The Walking Dead air tonight. This is the episode 16 of season 9, the very last episode in season 9. And there's no more Walking Dead until October when season 10 starts up. So, yeah, we had a good bit to talk about. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed my review series for The Walking Dead. For the few that have actually clicked on these videos, if you're new to my channel and this is the first video you ever clicked on, I have reviewed all of season 9. And, you know, I have a bunch of other, like, TV shows that I've reviewed, like The Ranch. I did all of part 6, and, you know, I did Sharp Objects and Westworld Season 2, and a couple other TV shows. I also review movies, do gaming live streams, gameplay videos, unboxings, collection updates, and I've done, like, a vlog video of one vlog video, and I did a random video where I let a girl do makeup on me. So yeah, I have a variety of different content. Go check out all of it. I am really proud of where I'm at now. But yeah, you know, I'm proud of all my content, even the ones when I started off without a lot of good equipment. But yeah, that's not why you clicked on this video. So let's just dive right into this episode. Now, if you've been watching my reviews, then you know that I have been loving this season. Like, this is by far probably one of my favorite seasons of Walking Dead. And Walking Dead is my second favorite TV show of all time. Which, we have 1 week and, well, technically 2 weeks. But, we have really just 1 weekend until my favorite TV show comes back on. And that is Game of Thrones Season 8. That is airing April 14th. And I will be reviewing that, on that day. So, you know, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, be on the lookout for my reviews if you like the way I review things. But anyways, back to Walking Dead. I keep getting sidetracked. This episode, you know, it started off with Ezekiel and them, you know, leaving the kingdom. Ezekiel's doing like this hopeful message about how, you know, even though they're leaving their homes and how he should have given up, you know, a while ago, you know, the future's still bright, yada, yada, yada. And this is right after, you know, the events of last week's episode where Henry died. So you can see the effects that it's having on everyone, especially Ezekiel and Carol in their marriage, and how when Henry's not there, you know, Carol's also having a hard time looking at Lydia. Ezekiel blames Daryl for Henry's death. And, you know, then Enid's boyfriend is upset at Lydia because he blames her. It's just a lot of people blaming either Lydia or Daryl, and it's neither one of their faults for what's happened. And so, you know, it's them basically with winter coming, them leaving the kingdom and heading to Hilltop. But, you know, since winter is coming, they get stuck in a blizzard. And honestly, this is the first time we've ever seen winter. Throughout all of these seasons, we've never seen winter. We've never seen snow on this show. I know they film it in Georgia, you know, during the summertime. And I'm from Georgia. I actually live in Georgia. And honestly, I am very curious on how they got it, you know, their sets to be covered in snow, the wind to be blowing. I'm very curious on how they made that happen, because I know how their sets look and its actual places, so I'm very curious on how they did that. But I did like the look of this. I did think that this was a good episode, you know, with everything going on from all the events that happened last week, you know, Kingdom going after, you know, moving to Hilltop and their journey all the way, and then them getting stuck at the sanctuary because they had to stop in the sanctuary and seeing how it's a piece of, you know, it's in even more of a dump now than it was. Granted, it has been like 6 years since they've been to the sanctuary, but we saw that and Negan came to realization that, you know, it was a dump, and him and Michonne had a nice little talk about it, you know, at the end of the episode. Where he's like, man, you didn't have to go visit. You could just ask me. I would have told you it was a dump. You know, that type of deal. So we had that. And then, you know, because they crossed through the Whispers territory, which we did get a really intense scene of walkers coming up in the snow, some being frozen, some not, which honestly is a little confusing on why some of them are frozen and why some of them weren't. Um, but then again, some humans would freeze faster than other humans, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But we got really good intense scene of all these people crossing this frozen river or lake, whatever you want to call it, and these walkers coming up, and Daryl finding them, all of them basically finding them off, and I got a little bit nervous when that walker attacked Daryl and he was reaching for the ice pick, this stalagmite type of ice, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But yeah, I wasn't gonna put it past them to end Daryl, even though that would be a shitty way to end him. You know, I couldn't put it past that. So I got a little bit nervous in that episode. I shouldn't have, but I did in that moment. We also saw that Lydia is struggling to live with everything that's happened. She blames herself. It's a lot of, in this episode, it's a lot of blaming of one another and of themselves, and trying to rationalize and understand that it's no one's fault other than Alpha's and all of them for doing what they did to Henry and Enid and Tara and all these other people. But Lydia is trying to kill herself. She almost let a walker bite her, but Carol caught her, and then she disappeared while they were crossing the river, and ended up just leaving, and Carol went after her, and basically, she finally got one-on-one time with Lydia and saw what Daryl sees in her, and that she is no different than him or Carol, because they have both been mentally and physically abused. When she said that, my mom was right, I am weak, and I hate that it has to be you, but the only way this stops is if, you do it. And in that moment when she said, my mom said I was weak, and that I'm weak, I think it clicked in Carol. You could see it, like, no, you're not weak. You're a good-hearted person, and that does not make you weak. So, yeah, I love that little moment between them. We also get to see more of how Daryl, he's willing to go off on his own with Lydia and take care of her. Daryl is basically becoming a parent, which I love. Actually, I find this very interesting. I think this is going to be a very good story arc for him. With him bonding with Lydia and taking care of her. She is a kid, and him being the role model. That's where I think that they're going. So I really did like the aspect in them on the road. I know it was a lot of dialogue in this episode, and not a lot happened for a finale of a season. And I know some people might think, well, last week's episode should have been the finale. Yeah, last week's episode felt more like a finale, but you should have known that this week's episode was going to be more, character development and just kind of progressing the characters and getting it kind of set up for season 10, really. There is no really big cliffhangers. It's just, the kingdom went to Hilltop. They left the kingdom. And then, we got to see more of Negan in this episode than we have in any of the episodes in this season. And he got out of his jail cell. And, it had great moments between him and Gabriel, and him pointing out facts, and just being Negan to Gabriel and Rosita and Sadiq about, their whole situation with Rosita being pregnant with Sadiq's baby, but Gabriel is, dating her, and he's like, I'm sorry, father, but not the father. And, yeah, just, we got more little things like that of Negan, and then, we got to see more of the relationship that him and Judith have, because when they leave that one building, Judith takes off running to go after Dog because she doesn't want Uncle Daryl to be disappointed in her for, letting Dog die. So as soon as she takes off running, Negan takes off running right after her. He gets injured with the leg, But you know what? He still manages to catch up with her, save her, and save Dog. And he took off all of his fucking layers and, gave it to her. And, I honestly think that, if you don't believe that Negan has changed, that right there should show you that he has changed. So yeah, we got to see that, and then we got to see a nice little snowball fight between the characters, and Michonne went and talked to Negan, and they had a nice little moment of like, the last time I was in here, we were in here, Rick had just sliced my throat, so this is nothing compared to that. It's a much more pleasurable, experience, and this season has had a lot of memorable quotes and really good quotes. But the quote that Negan said to Michonne is, the people, they were talking about, when you have a common enemy, it brings people together, or, then Michonne said, well, evil brings good people together, and then he's like, well, no one thinks that they're the bad guys. And, honestly, I think that, that is true. Like, Negan at the time did not think he was the bad guy in this situation. He honestly thought he was saving people, and that his system worked. And, Alpha probably doesn't think that she's the bad guy. Probably. We know that she's the bad guy, but honestly, she probably doesn't think that she's the bad guy. But, that's a great fucking quote. Honestly, it is. And then we see Alpha and Beta and talking, because they went, away to a different climate. How the fuck they traveled and got away from that blizzard so fast, I don't know. But just by the way that they were talking at the end when Beta is, whipping her with the it's not barbed wire, but it's like a rose thorn, like a thorn wire. It sounded like, she's like, he's like, you're not weak, and then she's like, I have to be stronger for what's to come. It sounds like, they're going to go to war. She's not giving up on her daughter, even though she sounded like she had in the last episode. She has not. But yeah, overall, season 9, episode 16 was a really good episode. I really did like this episode. Granted, it did not feel like a season finale, and last week's episode did. I honestly am kind of relieved that, they didn't leave us on a big fucking cliffhanger, because they've been doing that for the past couple of seasons. And I kind of like this whole, melodramatic, ending with Ezekiel talking to Judith and, communicating. And then we get, like, this staticky signal with someone asking for help and someone to help them. And it makes me wonder if this is the Commonwealth community that is in, the comics, which is the biggest community out of all of them. And honestly, is this the community that Maggie went to, or that Rick is at? Stuff like that. I am very curious if this is how they're going to bring either Rick or Maggie back. I don't think it'll be Rick, but Maggie maybe. With this person on the radio, maybe this is how they're going to bring Maggie back. Because they also mentioned that, the council had wrote to Maggie asking her, to come back, but she never responded. So maybe this is it. I don't know. But I am very excited to be I am really excited and looking forward to season 10 of The Walking Dead. I think season 9 was a great season. Even though this, last episode didn't feel like a true finale for a TV show, I still really enjoyed it. And I don't have a problem with it being, a little bit slower, a little bit more character oriented. And I like seeing snow for once, like I talked about. But yeah, really good episode. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think I've given every episode out of this season a 5 out of 5. I have loved every episode of this season. If I was going to give it a little bit lower, it might have been like a 4.8, just because it didn't feel like a season finale. But to me, that's a little bit nitpicking, because really, what does a season finale need to feel like if the episode's good? Who says that it has to be some action-packed, episode like or leave off on a huge fucking cliffhanger like season 6 did, or season 4 did, or season 8 did. Who says it has to end like that? So yeah, 5 out of 5 for this episode. And yeah, hopefully you guys, like I said, enjoyed this. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this season, what you thought of this episode. Did you like my reviews for this season, or The Walking Dead? Because I am going to be reviewing season 10. If you have any tips on how you'd like me to review them from going on with season 10, or any other TV shows you'd like me to watch and review, let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what was your favorite moment in this episode. Do you like that Daryl is becoming more of a father? Do you like, I can't believe I forgot, but it's late, but before I finish wrapping this up, Kelly and Ezekiel got separated. Like, either they technically got divorced, or they just broke up, or they're separated right now because Carol's in Alexandria, he's in Hilltop, and she went to give him back his ring. So yeah, very curious to see where that goes in their relationship, and Carol mentioned to Daryl that, she was struggling with continuing to be herself and not slipping back into that person that she was not too long ago in the seasons, not knowing where she fit in. But yeah, very curious to see where that's going. It's going to be interesting to see how Carol's storyline plays out. But yeah, let me know if you're upset that they broke up. Who do you want Rosita to end up with? Do you want her to be with Gabriel? Do you want her to be with Sadiq? Do you even want her to be with Eugene? I want her to be with Eugene, but that's just me. Do you like Negan in this episode? Do you like where they're going to take him? Do you think he's truly changed? Let's talk about all this down in the comments and more down there, because there's a lot to discuss. And anyways, guys, in the description I have links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page. You can click on it there for updates on personal life, things I'm working on, things I'm thinking about doing. I also tweet and go live on Instagram, while I'm watching a movie, and just talk to you guys. I also notify y'all when I go live on YouTube, for live streaming games, and I tweet and talk about, like, my work schedule and my shooting schedule and how that's going to coincide. Just follow me over there for updates, and, just a good time, really. And yeah, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, because it really does help me out. Also, share it with all your friends, family, everyone that you know, even people that you don't know, and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.